what is your process for creating film music? Do you write it or do you bring it in?
I use right now I use a music library. So
A music library?
yeah, I buy every year. They have. It's a tool that is built. You can select a part of your, for instance, a scene, and then you go into the tool and say, well, I want this kind of music, and it comes up with something, some suggestions. So that's how I do it now. I used to have the dream to become a film music composer myself, but I gave up on that and became an animator. I don't know if that's better, but it's hard to do both. So that's the process. But yeah, and then it has a sound, and also I always look that the music and the sound sort of blend in, so that you have just a soundscape, not so much. I find, if I may have a kind of critique nowadays, that the music is too loud. I can't hear the dialogue. The dialogue is mumbled. So that's all things I try to avoid. No mumbling allowed, and the music does not overwhelm the dialogue.
That's a sound mixing issue.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know what's wrong with people. It's like
do the AI tools do that, or is that
No, I
something
think
that
that
you have to handle yourself and do it
no, you can do it
effectively
yourself. I mean, that's just
manually?
in the post-production, that's just the mixer and the director probably says, or whoever, the producer. No, it has to be loud, it has to be, we have to,
What
no
about
dynamics anymore.
What about sound effects?
Yeah, so sound effect is similar. I also subscribe to a library, and I say, well, I need a car or something, revving up, or footsteps, or things like that. And like I mentioned, there's now a tool that you can actually prompt and say, well, I need a car revving up, I need footsteps or something instead.
So interesting, because back, a while back, not even that long ago, I remember seeing some documentaries where they're
Yeah.
showing how they make people walk in the snow, and you actually have a person walking
Right.
on something that sound and watching the film. And my mother used to work for a company called Sound One in New York City that did all the sound effects. Yeah,
I
interesting.
think for high-end productions, they still do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it must be fun. I've seen it too. It must be fun to do that work.
I think people have a job. That's their job.
That's a Foley artist.
And come
Yeah,
up with ideas of, well, how will this sound? I mean, it's interesting.
It's very interesting. Elizabeth, how does your Latinx experience influence your work?
Oh, very much, particularly if I'm writing a bilingual piece. I come alive when I'm writing in Spanish. It's hard to describe. My whole being gets very, very involved. It's in my blood, it's in my soul, and the musicality of the language comes much easier to me than English, though I write well in English, but there's something about freedom in writing a Latin piece that I don't necessarily have with English. And this is personal. I love the culture. I'm very, very comfortable in the culture. It's family, it's genes, it's history, it all comes together. So it just feels like I'm in my own country again.
And may I ask what country you're originally from?
Well, geez.
No, you can't. Sorry.
May I?
Yay.
We have to kill it.
I have a very complicated multiracial background. I did speak Spanish in the home. It is the first language. However, I'm part Ecuadorian, West African, Spanish from Barcelona, and Irish, German, and Scot.
What a mix. Wonderful.
So much.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
But this Latin culture is what I really feel
Mhm.
the strongest.
Yeah. Thanks. Pingu, what challenges do Chinese filmmakers have more than, say, American filmmakers? What are some of the challenges?
I think the main problem is the system. We have two words about 体制内和体制外. As for me, I'm independent, so I'm not confined with this kind of system. Within the system, if I'm is a real for the big film factory things, and then I cannot come here because I have to apply from the leaders group.
Yeah, the censorship.
He knows that. She knows
the
that.
China problem, that's my sympathy for them. No,
She knows better
No,
because
because
it's the-
I think the artists you need freedom. You have to bring to create stuff. But in China, they formulate your think. Everyone thinking the same. You have to be. They force you to be. And for the film, they have a very tough censorship, which you don't know who watched your movie and they be okay to release
It's
it.
called the melody, main melody films. That means you have to price the
Propaganda. You have to
propaganda
price the
for
country,
the
the
party.
party.
Yeah, that's
And
a
no,
big challenge for them.
that's right now it's a huge thing for them. And I always thinking they're like people tied in the hand, tied in the road, and then you still create the movies. I always have that's always my emphasis for that's another thing pushed me into this. I said I'm gonna do this for them. Whenever they can do it, we have platform to them. If some of the movies are really good, they can't release in China, I'm gonna carry them to release to worldwide. It's just so petty, so sad thing for the artists in China.
Lynn, didn't you have 1 year at the UMFF, you had the person that was the head of the censorship?
Yes,
Yeah.
we have all this, but nobody can change. Even the head of censorship, even head of I know people who are the minister of the culture. We cannot do anything. So, yeah, it's not just, it's just, we just that's why it's hard for them for a while to able to really freedom to do anything. It's tough. It's so that's where the reason I say I wanted to create something for them. Whenever they're able to, they have something for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And Mike,
Yes.
tell us your thoughts regarding the Hollywood industry and AIGC.
How much time do you have?
No, that's 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yeah.
I can do it in 2 minutes. Let's see, that's about 300 words. Let's go. All right. Basically, as most of you know, there was a writer's strike and an actor's strike. They took place both at the same time. It was over the AI issue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you ask the actors, they think they won. If you ask the writers, they think they won. Those were two different strikes. But the reality is, what they were striking against is moving forward, because they had already signed contracts that state something on the order of, I release you to use my image in any technology now available or in the future. So that's why we have Governor Moff Tarkin in the last Star Wars film, because he had died like a long time ago, and then we had also Carrie Fisher in the last Star Wars film. She died like right before, right? But you can CGI these people because they signed a contract back in 1977 saying you get to use my image for the rest of effectively the producer's life because you're doing a work for hire. You don't own your own image. Maybe that's why the writers and the actors think they won, because it's the same with scripts. Like you were talking about, there are CGI tools to write scripts, and you don't want to use them. Okay, I'm on that page too, but they do exist. They're out there. People are using them. I would prefer that someone hire me to write. 7 days later, I give you a first draft and hand me a check. And then if you want to change this 37 different ways, we'll go into that negotiation. But again, it's a matter of the technology exists, that Pandora's box can't be closed, basically. Everyone agreed?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where Hollywood is relative to AI.
Gotcha. So now I'd like to open the floor to all of you, and we'll just do this sort of popcorn style, so whoever wants to say.
Oh, I'll be first always.
Wait.
Very good.
Yes, go
Elizabeth,
ahead.
yeah.
Yes, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after having this conversation with Lorna, I came to the conclusion that it's really important to be ahead of AI, to understand it, know what's happening. We could be veterans, you know, from yesteryear, or we can see what's happening and understand it enough so that we can write well with it at times and without it. And ethically when we can, but it is happening. It's going to make filmmaking a lot cheaper, a lot faster. So it's
And
necessary.
with less people, right?
Yes, of course.
Probably.
Yeah, so anybody can answer this. So what do you think is how is the changing technology affecting your particular part of the industry the most? You know, so the changing technology, got AI, there's other changing technology. How does it help? How does it hinder?
Well, I've one thing I want to say is that for an independent filmmaker, it's different because I don't have a job, so my job is not in danger necessarily. If you are work for hire, it's different. If you're in a union, and I'm glad to have a union, but I always wonder, should art be in a union? I mean, that's an interesting question. So for an independent filmmaker, well, I have a colleague that says, well, I can do a feature film not in 7 years, but in 7 months. Good for him. Right? I like to use AI to speed up the process, if that's possible, without changing my style necessarily. Because I like to be able to present to Lynn my next feature film not in the 70. I may not have lived that long, so you know I'm in a time crunch. So that's how I see it too. Yeah, use it wisely, and also I think there's a lack of proper information that explains it correctly.
Right.
Some people say, well, it's a copy machine. I mean, there's a lot of people, and especially the so-called gurus who I really hate them, that first they make a lot of money and now they are against it, right? I think that's hypocritical. So instead of explaining how it works, what it can do, what it cannot do, I think that's important. Like you said, we need a good explanation of how it
Yeah,
works.
I think it's the trend, the kind of stuff. It's always you're already using it. Only thing is to, like I said, right away with it. You know, just for me, I think I can use the tool and try to like speed up the process, but still it's not lose the creativity. Machine is a machine. Okay, AI is AI. If you don't want to see same thing again, you still do new things. So always the new thing. Okay, this is one thing I think we're gonna treat the AI as a tool. But another thing is about the cost. Okay, I always tell people you don't think about like, okay, yeah, we spend less money to make the movie, which means have the accessibility. The production costs low, the a lot more for production the movie is going to be out there. How can you get your film outstanding and people can choose our movie to watch? You're going to spend extra money to promote your money. It's the same thing. Marketing won't change much. Okay, that's what I say.
I'm giving you one positive side because I received a lot of client which is really struggling for funding because I come from a marketing background,
Mhm.
a core marketing, sales, and everything in entertainment marketing for media houses. So first thing I always see people have a good script, but they don't know how to go for funding. And the project and dream project specific for who really independent filmmaker, they're stuck for funding and they cry in front of investors. Investor asks you, where should we get ROI? So trailer, if you go for pitch deck, for example, it's expensive, $500 for creating a pitch deck. If you have a professional pitch decker, for trailer you ask for $2,000. So I think so independent filmmaker, they now not struggling. You need one laptop, one director, one storyteller, that's it. If you have a good script, go to any studio, publish your picture on YouTube, showcase in film festival. Because I just say everybody, is it not a hobby? It's a business. After one hobby, you crush down and you just go for advertisement agency for earning money. Because nobody come in this film industry for just creating an advertisement. They have a mindset, I'm going to be a famous film director, film producer. So we don't know, it's not like, I see people really cry for funding and they have a very good script. So I think so it's a blessing for them to showcase their work.
Yeah.
Not too many people know that I'm famous, so that's a problem.
Well, I was just gonna add on to that. So I recently did a short film, and the director is low budget. Got paid a little bit and blah blah blah. But same approach that you're talking about. He is bringing to a film festival, YouTube. He's going to showcase it. He's going to put it out there. It's less expensive. It's not the same. He doesn't have to get a lot of funding. So again, I see that point. So these days you can do a lot more. The other thing is you can use AI to give you a plan on how to put it out there and who would I approach, and the intelligence is there. Who are the producers I need to approach? Who are the investors I need to approach? Write me a letter. Things that maybe are just boring and hard and businessy. The AI can support you, especially if you don't have the budget, right, for those kinds of things.
The main thing is that the basic structure of this business, you just get, like for example, you have a project. The basic structure since 1900, to get exposure for your project, how do you earn the money and how do you go for sequence? The basic structure. Technology changed one day by one, but how to get your exposure for your project, how to get the money for this project, and how to be famous from this project. The basics thing is this for any business in the entertainment industry. Technology, this is AI right now. After 15 years, there's a different AI technology. After 15 years, there's different technology. But the basic structure, how do you get exposure for your project and how do you earn the money? This is a basic.
Or it's show business, not show friends, right?
Yes, don't show friends.
There are no friends in show business.
So if you basic things, you just learn from these things, how do you get earning money from this business? So it's easy for you.
Okay, I'm gonna open up to one more question. What's our time? I just give you a time
We're
check.
almost done. So
Almost
this
done.
last
Okay,
question.
we're gonna do one more. Let's maybe open it up to the audience.
Anybody else wanna have a question?
Anybody have a question for our panel?
Nope, time's up. Thanks for playing. Okay.
So I think we're good. All right, well, you guys, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Heidi.
It was wonderful. A lot of insight.
Yeah.
Lots more to learn from. So please enjoy the rest of whatever we're putting out there.
Yeah.
This has been great. Thank you.